I'm meteorologist Tom Schmidt with Ozarks First, and this spring has been an active one, to say the least. Right now, Missouri ranks as the third most tornadoes in the United States so far in 2025, and right now we're trailing only behind 2011 at this point in time, year to date, for the most tornadoes through the month of April so far. Remember, last year was a very active year, and that picked up in May. And this time it's already been active. We've already seen over 600 tornadoes across the country in the month through the month of April, year to date. So where does Missouri fall on that? Well, again, right now we're ranked third, most tornadoes. Arkansas ranking in the top 10 as well so far for the year through April 23rd. And Missouri has seen 66 tornadoes so far this year. We average between 35 to 40 tornadoes every year. So we've already nearly doubled that tornado count, and it's only April, right? We still have to get through May. We'll touch on the forecast there in just a bit. 15 of the 66 tornadoes in Missouri have been EF2 or stronger. EF2 is considered a strong tornado, so we've seen 15 strong tornadoes in Missouri. Tacking on Arkansas now, also coming up in the count, lower than Missouri, but still seasonally high. Already the annual total in Arkansas through the month of April right now, 36, when they average the same as Missouri, about 35 to 40 tornadoes every year. And they've already, again, met that average for the year, and it's only late April. Arkansas has also seen 12 EF2 strong tornadoes so far for 2025. Looking across the big picture, across the country, again, Missouri ranks as the third highest tornado count out of all the states. And kind of take notice of where the higher tornado counts are. So you have Missouri, Arkansas, Mississippi leading the way at 96, Alabama, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, mostly areas east, right? The eastern half of the country. And we kind of said that was going to be the case going into this spring season. You may remember Jamie Warner put out his spring forecast, and general thinking from him and the Ozarks First weather team was that it was going to be an eastern trend in the tornadoes and severe weather threat that we see this year. That's certainly played out as we go into late April. Notice this: Oklahoma, 18 tornadoes so far for the year. Kansas, three tornadoes. Kansas averages about 90 tornadoes every year, and right now, late April, they're sitting at 3. Nebraska, 11. Then you get up to the Dakotas. They typically don't see their storm season ramp up until June or July, but not seeing much activity there. Texas has seen 40. All of the tornadoes in Texas have been in eastern Texas. West Texas hasn't seen anything really just quite yet. So it's kind of interesting. It's a very unusual map when you look at it this way. Missouri in the top 3 for tornado counts, looking at year to date. So January 1st through April 23rd, Missouri has seen 66 tornadoes, well above normal for the entire year. In Arkansas, right now, for the year to date, sitting at 36. Okay, so that's what we've seen so far. It's been a very busy March and April for us here in the Ozarks. As we look into May, though, what can we expect? Well, a lot of the data says that we'll be near normal for rainfall. Okay, maybe a little higher to the east and down to the south in Arkansas, but generally pretty close to normal rainfall amounts expected going through the month of May. Now, May is our wettest month. We're typically seeing about 4.5 to 5 inches of rainfall for the month of May. So it's one of the wetter months we have here in the Ozarks. And also we're looking at temperatures to be near normal for us here in the Ozarks as well. A little warmer down to the south and west. So I think the drought will probably get worse in the desert southwest and areas in the western U.S. Dry and warm conditions expected there. Meanwhile, here in the Ozarks and the eastern U.S., the Great Lakes area, looking at possibly near normal to slightly higher than normal rainfall, and then also near normal temperatures, a little warmer as you go down to the Gulf and the southeast. So what can we expect from that going into May? Well, April, of course, and March were both ranked pretty high, well above average on the amount of severe weather and overall tornadoes that we saw, especially here in Missouri and Arkansas. We already talked about that. Going into May, we can expect to see near normal amounts of both severe weather and tornadoes. And so, not like April, it's not going to be like April. We've already seen this well above normal severe weather, an active pattern coming in. May is expected to be more near normal, which will actually feel a little less active than what we've seen so far this April and March. So I think things will start to pump the brakes a bit as we go into the month of May. Yeah, there'll be some severe weather. Yes, we'll get some tornadoes in May as well, but not expected to be above normal. Now, that being said, May is typically our busiest severe weather and tornado month out of all the months of the year. So it'll be busy, but it's even with that being said, it's still expected to be probably a little less active, a little less busy than what we've seen so far in terms of severe weather and tornadoes here in the Ozarks, including both Missouri and Arkansas. All right, so looking at the drought monitor right now, when we started the month of April, it was dry. And it was dry for a big chunk, especially down to the southwest. Then we had a lot of rain, of course, to start off the month of April. Had some over Easter, and we're looking at more rain as we go into middle of next week, really this weekend, off and on chances throughout here in the Ozarks. And so we're still looking at dry conditions around Missouri and Arkansas, but those are going away. We'll be getting rid of that dry patch swiftly as we wrap up the month of April. Now looking off to the west, Kansas, northwest Oklahoma, Nebraska, they've been in pretty bad drought really for the past 2 years. It's been very dry to our western states neighboring us. They've made some progress. They've gone from extreme to severe drought, dropping down to more of a moderate drought across Kansas. Good news there. And, of course, they're getting rain all week long this week, so that drought will also be be mitigated, signing some drought relief all week long to our neighbors to the west. And then, again, remember, the outlook for this May was showing that we're going to see dry conditions and warm conditions across the west and desert southwest. You can see now they've got pretty bad drought down there, looking at parts of Arizona, New Mexico, southern Texas, near the border of Mexico, from El Paso, maybe extending a bit into Austin area, parts of Phoenix, Tucson, Arizona, seeing some very dry conditions there. That's expected to get worse. That's expected to persist on the drought and actually get a little bit worse on the drought down in the desert southwest as more warm and dry conditions are expected for them down there. All right, so just a quick recap here. We've seen a lot of tornadoes this spring so far. We're going to calm things down a little bit as we go into May. Still going to have some rounds of severe weather. Still going to find some tornadoes as we go into May. It's just not expected to be above normal like we've seen so far this very active spring season. All right, so for Ozarks First, I'm meteorologist Tom Schmidt in Springfield, Missouri. Happy Wednesday, and enjoy the rest of your week.